I think it might be time to get a haircut soon. We're not there yet, but I can see it getting to that point. Hi everyone, I am in the beanbag, which apparently means it's time for another extras video. I am recording this on the last day of May 31st, 2025, and I released a few different vlogs this month, but there were also many other things that happened in the month of May that didn't have entire videos dedicated to them, so we're going to talk about them in this video. It's all of the extras. And there's actually quite a bit of things, including quite a bit of footage, which is nice. So we're going to start at the beginning of the month, where Mao actually hit a new record for how long she had ever went at one time on her bike at 45 miles, which is very, very cool. And that was a part of a charity event, actually, called the Raven Rock Ramble.
Morning. I'm doing a ride today. It's a charity ride for distance. I'm not going super far. This will be my second longest ride I've ever done.
Did you just say you're not going super far?
Compared to everyone else.
Okay, but you're still going 43 miles.
Correct, I am going 43 miles. My longest is 45. That was my birthday ride, so this will be my second longest.
I'll be back to pick you up in 3.5 hours.
Thank you. It's a little rainy.
Yeah, don't slip.
I'll be fine.
Mal participated in this, rode her bike 45 miles, including, it was actually pretty ugly weather. She actually did some of it in the rain, and she had mentioned that it was pretty painful to have the rain hitting her whenever she's going, super fast down the road. What was actually really interesting was that I dropped her off at that event, because it takes her, obviously a few hours to go that far. And I knew about what time she would be getting back, and I was on my way back to the event, and I actually pulled in right as she was going towards the exit. Like, I pulled in behind her, which was wild. So I timed this perfectly. I knew about when Mao would be getting back here, and she pulled in right in front of me. She actually doesn't know that I'm behind her. This is incredible. I don't know how I got timed this well, but I'm actually watching her finish the race, and that's spectacular. Awesome.
Right there.
Is there? Did you know I was behind you?
I figured it was you because you weren't passing me.
So anyway, that was her longest ride, although I'm fairly certain that later in the month, she actually exceeded that. I think her new record is like 47 or something, so she's really, really getting into riding. She's trying to hit 1,000 miles ridden on her bike this year, and at her current pace, she's more likely to hit 1,500, so she's putting a lot of time and effort into her bike. We also started watching something new this month. We didn't watch any movies, but we did watch Angie Tribeca, or started it. It's a show from a few years back. It's basically a modern take on Police Squad. It's just very, very funny. Absurdist humor, visual gags. We have watched the first season so far. We're actually watching it with Chaz and Jeff, because Chaz is also a big fan of Police Squad. It's very funny. It's very, very funny. It's currently on Max, and might be available somewhere else to watch too, but really enjoyed it. Dan actually had recommended it to us some time ago, and some of you had recommended it as well, and it is very well worth watching. If you like that style of humor, if you like the Naked Gun films and things like that, you should definitely give it a shot, because it's basically more of the same, and I do love that style of humor. At the end of last month's extras video, I had talked about the fact that Mao had made cookies for her grandma. I'm happy to report that her grandma got those cookies and loved those cookies, and also said that she would not share them with a soul.
She's like, do you have the family recipe book? And I was like, I do. And she said, grandma's mom's recipe is in there. You should use that one.
chocolate cake cookies, I can't tell you them. And these are, I'm surprised. Freeze them.
That's what I was going to suggest you do, because there's 4 dozen of them.
Oh, yes, I see. Probably far too important to make.
Oh no, it was fine. They do, if it fits in a box, it ships. It's all good.
Well, I'm gonna enjoy every last one of that. Sharing them with Kitty.
You're not sharing them at all?
No, I'm gonna keep all for myself. Oh.
I would say that there's a reasonable chance in the near future that Mao might make more cookies for her grandma and send them so she can have some more cookies to enjoy. If you keep up with our streams, you've probably already heard about this, but if not, earlier this month, we found something, let's call it fun, in the garage, and that was a pile of poop, specifically from a snake. So that was fun. We never found the snake, but it's been enough time at this point that we do not think that the snake is in the garage anymore. But yeah, there was definitely a snake that came into the garage, took a poo, and then I guess left. And the weird thing is that, like, I had been in the garage not too long before that, and there had not been poo. And then I was like, oh, poo. So yeah, it's just a reminder that we live in a place where there are snakes. We see snakes whenever we're like, you know, going on walks or riding bikes or whatever. Like, it's not an uncommon occurrence, and that they can get into your garage. It's fine. It's totally fine. Whatever. Who cares? I don't even care. We did go somewhere in May. Last month we went to New York City, which was really, really fun. This month we went back to Myrtle Beach because I wanted to spend Mother's Day with my family. And the really exciting thing was that this time Mao got a chance to come with me because Mao hasn't been able to travel with me, you know, for a year since Kep has been sick. So Mao got to go back to Myrtle Beach with me. It was really nice. We spent some time with my family. My mom made some desserts and stuff, which she often does, and we got a chance to just kind of chill out, relax. These are the biggest grapes I've ever seen in my life. Ever. I have never in my life seen a grape this big. Yeah, they're good too, but like, it's huge. Yeah. Have you ever seen a grape this big, Mel?
No.
I'm pretty sure I haven't. This is like a new experience. Holy cow.
You'll have to go to your Sam's Club and find it.
Is that where you got these, Sam's Club?
Yeah.
Maybe they should.
And then Mom was saying that she's been finding blueberries that are like, what, half the size of this?
Oh yeah. We wouldn't have blueberries should have been giant.
What is happening to the fruit down here?
And they've been so good.
Okay. This is like a 2-bite grape.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I've had to bite them in half. We also ate at a few different places, but one of them was really worth noting. There's a place in Myrtle Beach now called Zeytin, and it is a Turkish breakfast brunch place, and they have like traditional American breakfast, American brunch, but they also have Turkish breakfast and brunch, and it was so amazing. It was very, very good. Mao also had a like a Turkish coffee, which came with homemade Turkish delight, and Mao's like, this was incredible. Very, very cool place. If you find yourself in the Myrtle Beach area, that is an incredibly unique restaurant that you should absolutely search out, because, like, man, it was really good. It was very, very good. We also spent probably a good 2 hours at one of the arcades in Myrtle Beach. There's an arcade now. What was it called? I think it was called Stars and Stripes, or it was something about bowling. Stars and Strikes, maybe. That's probably the play on words that they had. It was at the Coastal Grand Mall, and I hadn't been in that mall in a long, long time, but we went with my parents. We were walking around, and there was just a pretty nice arcade in there. A lot of different things. They had a Stepmania machine. They had bowling, obviously. They also had like laser tag and a bunch of other things. So we just spent some time in there playing games. It was a lot of fun. My parents actually played air hockey. I hadn't seen them play air hockey like in a long, long time, and I got some of that on video.
Amazing.
I'm not good now.
Oh no.
I put it in myself.
Tie game.
Yeah, but I made 2 of the boats myself. Thanks for giving me them points back.
I think you go to 7. This is the final one. Okay, that's it.
And then Mao and myself also played some air hockey. We get really competitive. There's multiple times that the puck actually flew outside of the arena. That's fine. We probably shouldn't play that hard. Mal also did a nail stream from my parents' house, and I have just a little like behind-the-scenes clip of that. That was fun. It's nice to know that if we want to do a stream, you know, from not our home, we can. The amount of equipment that we take varies depending on how professional we want it to be. You know, sometimes we'll take this camera, which is a little bigger, but since we were just heading back to Myrtle Beach, weren't going like on a plane or something, we took it and set everything up, and it was nice. It was nice to be able to do that. We also did a breakfast stream from there on that Tuesday morning before we headed back to Raleigh. I also wanted to take this opportunity, and I know it's been a while, and some of you have been very patiently waiting, to announce that as of right now, the release of this video, there are more of my dad's paintings available on his website. You can visit stevepaintedthis.com, which will take you over to his Etsy store. There are a few new pieces that are available now. They tend to go pretty quick, so if you go over there and you see something that you really like, I would advise you to pick it up quick, because normally the whole thing sells out really, really fast. But we've got a few pieces up there, and I hope to get more up in the future. I know it has been a while, and I feel very, very bad for that, but there are some new ones up now, and if you pick one up, I will get it shipped out to you just within the next few days, because we got all the material and stuff to do it. It needs a home, so it might find its way into your home. So if you're interested in any of those, pick one up. Definitely at least check them out before they just magically disappear, because they go pretty quick. The other thing that happened this month is that finally, after many months of working on it, I finished playing Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. So sometime last year, I don't even remember when, sometime last year, I decided I wanted to replay Advance Wars, and I played through Advance Wars 1 for GBA, and I was like, you know what? That was fun, but I should really play through the Switch version, because Nintendo had sent a code for the Switch version like years ago, and I was like, oh, I want to play through that. So I did, and I played through the campaign, and I S-ranked everything, and I played through the hard mode, and I beat through the hard campaign for the first game, and then I did the campaign for the second game and S-ranked all of that, and I played through the hard mode of that, and then I S-ranked everything in War Room. And it took in total 330 hours, but I did do everything that I set out to do. The only thing that I didn't do is I didn't S-rank all of the hard campaign. But that's fine, because you can't even score less than a B, so I'm not going to worry about S-ranking all of those, because it's already so difficult and so much time. But I had a lot of fun doing it. I obviously must have, because I put so much time into it. I do like the Advance Wars series. It's fun. And I know some people are like, you know, are you going to do a video about it? And like, I don't know. I considered talking about it, but I'm like, well, I might wait, because I have started to play the next game, which is Advance Wars Dual Strike, the Nintendo DS game. And there's a lot of like new things in that, like a lot. Like the amount of changes that happened from 1 to 2 are like, there's definitely some changes, but it's not huge. The changes between 1 and 2 compared to the third game for Dual Strike is huge. So there's all sorts of changes, and so far it's been fun. So yeah, maybe at some point I'll finally make this video where I dive into Advance Wars a little bit more. But so far, I'm clearly enjoying the series. It's been fun to revisit it. I don't remember Dual Strike at all. I know I bought it whenever it came out, but I have like very limited, and by limited I mean none. I have like no memories of the game, so it's been fun to start on that. I thought that I had announced this in the last extras video, but I'm looking at my list and it says that I didn't. Mal is actually working on a project with her old iMac. So my parents had her old iMac, but then I gave them my iMac, which was a few years newer. So we brought Mal's original iMac home for my parents, and those computers, they are strictly Mac computers. You can't use them as screens, which is a shame, because the monitor themselves, like the display, is very, very nice. There's a technical reason for it. I know it's easy to just be like, Apple is anti-consumer, and there's plenty of evidence of other areas of that. But this specific reason is that the old iMacs, you used to be able to use the screens, but when they went to the 5K displays, the way that they were driving all of those pixels were actually two different display port connections internally in the computer. And there wasn't really a way for people, for like a normal consumer, to do that on the outside. So they just weren't, they never made those available to be used as like normal screens. However, fast forward several years later, and we now have the technology to push that many pixels with just like a single HDMI cable. So what you can do now is you can actually open up the iMac, take out the internals, put a new display board in them, and that new display board will you basically turn it into a normal monitor. So that was obviously a pretty compelling thing for Mal, because she's like, oh, this will be neat, to have my iMac back, to be able to have that really nice, beautiful display, and the only thing you have to buy is a display board, which was less than like $200. So she's in the process of still dealing with all of that. This will probably be something we talk about in the next month extras video, but so far everything's gone smoothly, and the display board has at least arrived. So maybe in the next few days or weeks, she'll get all of that connected, and fingers crossed everything goes smoothly and she has a new monitor, which is neat. That computer is originally from late 2015, so it's almost 10 years old. But again, the display is still good, and having a 5K 60 display, yeah. I mean, we already own the computer, so might as well try and upcycle it if you can. In addition to, I guess, that display board, Mal also got a new bike. Mal has wanted a new bike for some time, and she managed to find someone, or she got a bike from someone she actually knows, because she's been making a few different friends who are into biking, and one of the bike friends that she made was selling a bike, so she actually got a bike. She got a pretty good deal on the bike, and she loves it. It's got all sorts of like new bells and whistles. Mal tells me about bike stuff like multiple times every day, and I absorb some of it, but there's just a lot of information. I now know what it must feel like when I talk about cameras to her. But it's a nice bike. She's already went on like multiple rides with it. And one of the big changes is that the bike that she had before was very specifically like a road bike with road tires. And this one has, you know, tires, or the bike itself is better for like all around terrain. So she can do a little more like nature trail path type stuff. It's not just strictly for, you know, being on the road. So she's been a fan. I'm glad that she's happy. She's wanted a bike. She's wanted to have a new bike for some time, and now she has one. I still have my same bike. Obviously, you probably could tell Mal rides way more frequently than I do, but I do still enjoy riding. Just I'm not trying to hit 1,000 miles this year. Other things that we did, we've been slowly but surely working on some big tasks around the house. Last month, I think I talked about cleaning out the file cabinet and like reorganizing that. I also did the pantry. I completely reorganized the pantry too. Well, one of the big things in May was the porch, because all of that pollen has been just sitting on the porch and everything's been disgusting and yellow. So Mal and I took several hours on one of the Saturdays and just completely cleaned everything. And it is a lot of work, because we need to take all of the furniture off of the porch and haul it down the stairs, around the outside of the house to the driveway where we can actually clean everything off. Then we have to wait for it to dry, and we have to haul it all the way back. And it's like, it's wicker furniture, but it's still pretty heavy, and there's a lot of it, and it took some time, but everything got cleaned, and now we can enjoy the porch again, which is wonderful. It's one of my favorite things about the house, to be perfectly honest. I love the sunroom too. Sunroom is nice, but I really love the porch. I love to like start mornings out there before it gets like super, super hot. And then sometimes in the summer, like we'll have friends over and we'll just sit out there at night and chat. And I really, really love that. So I'm glad that everything's clean, so we can not get our butts yellow. That's not really what we want. So this is a kind of a sweet thing. And it might be kind of strange, but when Sagan passed, we had kennels for each of the cats, for him and for Kepler. And when, you know, the day that he passed was a whole thing, and we had to drive him to Charleston to try and get him help. And, you know, as you know, we didn't end up bringing him home. And when we got home, I took his cage and I put it up on a shelf, and I never touched it. So the blanket that was in there, like his fur that was in there, like I never touched any of it. And with Kepler passing recently, you know, we started to clean up the house, which is just very, very difficult. And we finally got to his cage, and I was like, we really need to finally clean out these cages. And Mao actually didn't know that Sagan's cage wasn't cleaned out. I was like, oh, we've never touched it. And she was like, really? I was like, yeah, I knew that we had never touched it. So we finally did, which was obviously a difficult thing. But as I was going through the cage, we were pulling the stuff apart, under the blanket in Sagan's cage was a whisker. Big, long Sagan whisker just at the bottom of the cage. And I was like, it was very sweet because maybe earlier this month, I had found a Kepler whisker on the floor. When I found it, I was like, I'm putting this up on the shelf. And it was so nice to find one of those whiskers. And I figured that I would, since he had just passed and we were cleaning stuff up. I would have never expected to have found a Sagan whisker this month. But there was one in the cage. And, I saved that one too. I had posted a photo of it on Instagram. But it was sweet. It was just really sweet. That's the sort of thing that, like, it's not going to happen, ever again. This was like the one remaining spot that I had just never touched of Sagan's. And I actually took the blankets that had been in Sagan's kennel and in Kep's kennel, and I actually saved them. I put them in a Ziploc bag. It's got all of their fur and stuff in it. One of the things that I've wanted to do, Mal gave me this idea, is I have kept for years a single piece of fur from Sagan in my wallet, and when Kepler passed, I put a single piece of fur in my wallet with it. And Mal was like, it might be nice if you take a piece of laminate and you can put some pieces of fur like on that, and then you just have it like kind of like a little business card type thing in your wallet. And I thought that was a great idea, and I have all of this, extra Sagan fur that was, in his kennel. So I have those blankets, and at some point I'm going to take some of the fur out and do that, because I think that that's a cool idea. I haven't done it yet, but it's like on my long-term to-do list. And in the meantime, the kennels themselves have been like deconstructed because they collapsed down, so we have a little more storage space. So yeah, I just thought that was sweet. It's the sort of thing like that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen very often, but to be able to stumble across one of his whiskers was really, really nice. One of the reasons that we were getting some stuff cleaned up in the house, and we really did a like super thorough clean, is that we had guests this month. Mark and Rhonda visited, and when we knew that they were going to be arriving, Mal was like, one thing that we haven't done since we've lived here 2 years is hung art, and I really want to hang up art. And I said, okay. So we took an afternoon, and we did. So there's all of this art that we've hung up, and I can show you all of the different art, and what we decided to put and where, and it was fun. And I think the thing that was so crazy is that it really doesn't take much time at all to do this. It really doesn't. Like, Mal and I don't sweat over this too much. It's just like, what do you think? This here? Yeah? Okay. Nail on the wall. Let's go. Like, the hardest thing was whenever I put up the 5 different ones. Like, you do some level of math to make sure that that's correct, but otherwise, like, it's all pretty fast. So this is just my little wake-up call for anyone that's watching who might be in the same situation. Maybe you just moved into a place, or maybe you're like us, you've lived in a place for like a while now, and you have some art to hang, and you just haven't bothered because you're like, go for it. Go for it. It doesn't take as long as you might think, at least if it's framed. If it's not framed, then it's a whole other thing, because you gotta like find some place to put it in. But if it's framed, it's pretty quick. You just have to decide on a place and go. We actually have the same like little pack of nails that we bought in Colombia a billion years ago, and we're still using those same nails, and that's just very, very funny to me. But Mark and Rhonda visited. It was really, really great to have them here. They were not here very long. It was a very short visit because they weren't really, they are on their way to go somewhere else, and they were just kind of stopping by. So they were here for less than 2 days. It was a very, very short visit. So we really didn't get a chance to do a whole lot. We actually spent most of our time just here talking. But Mal did have a chance to take them duckpin bowling. So they went out and they did duckpin bowling while I streamed with Haley, because I did another Mario RPG stream with Haley, which was really, really fun. But they enjoyed doing duckpin bowling, which was fun. I'm glad they got to, to be here. I'm glad they got to spend some time with us. It's been a long time since they have visited us. We saw them, I saw them at Carly's wedding? Oh, is that the last time I saw them? Oh no. It really had been a while. So I hope that they'll come back in the somewhat near future, because we would like to see them. They're very fun, and I like to to spend time with them. One of the things that Mal did when she knew that her dad was going to be here is she decided to make homemade raspberry zingers. If you're familiar with the Hostess snack cakes, something that her dad has always really liked. So Mal decided to make homemade ones. Really, really cool. The idea of just making a homemade snack cake thing is really neat. He loved them. We had friends over and they tried them. They loved them too. So yeah, that was a really, really cool thing. Really good experience. And again, I just sincerely hope that they come back and visit sometime in the very, very near future. And I think that's all of the main things that I wanted to talk about. I've got one more thing that I'm saving for the very, very end. But overall, it was a pretty busy month. There was a lot going on behind the scenes from I don't know if you want to call it an administration type perspective. I am working on the next Japan vlog. It's getting there. It's not quite ready, but it's getting there. There are just a handful of those left to do. Still working on them. Really wish they were done, but not quite there yet. But you will see, unless something goes really wrong, you will see one in June. So at least you have that to look forward to. And as the very, very final point of this video, and I hate to end on such a sad note, but we did have to say goodbye to another of the Raleigh Collective pets. One of Chaz and Jeff's cats, Fencer, has actually had some kidney problems for quite a while, and he started losing some weight, and they took him to get his blood checked, and it kind of confirmed what they had suspected, that the kidney disease had started to progress. And they gave Vencer, a pretty short time to live. They said it's probably just going to be a few weeks, and it was only 10 days or so before he was ready to go. And unfortunately, they did have to say goodbye to Vencer. And that is hard. That's hard on its own, because losing a pet is like losing a best friend. It's incredibly difficult. But it also made me realize that there have been so many pets gone just in the last calendar year. In the last year, we lost Koth, we lost Rocco, we lost Carly's cat, we lost Kepler, and now we have lost Fencer. So that's five cats in the span of 1 year. And that's a lot, man. That's a lot. The only The only cat in the Raleigh collective now is Elspeth, and Leica obviously is still around for Alex and Haley. But yeah, it's incredibly sad. Chaz's cats, next to like our own cats and Rocco, were the cats I was probably closest with and got to see most regularly. And they have, made appearances on the vlog for many, many, many years, since we, would go up and visit in Indiana and stuff. So yeah, it's very sad. And I know that, obviously Chaz and Jeff are they're handling it the best that you can, but of course they're going to be very sad about this as well. And yeah, I hate to even have to share this news, but it is just something that happened in May. Chaz had owned Vencer for 14 and a half years. And he didn't get him as a kitten either, so Vencer was a little bit older than that. And Vencer and Elspeth are actually siblings, but it's just Elspeth now. Yeah. Anyway, again, sorry to end on such a sad note, but I wanted to at least make sure that was out there. With the way that the vlogs are now, it is different. I know things are just inherently different, and making videos like this is like helpful to get a bunch of information in one spot, but it is also just, it feels different. Anyway, if you have a pet, give them a hug today. Give them a little scritch on the head. And that's gonna be it for the extras video. I'll be back in June, hopefully with several different vlog videos, but also another extras video at the end of the month. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, let's meet back soon, shall we?